Today, I have a great concept to share with you. I have Evan Ross from the Judgment Business, and this is an incredible brand and concept. I haven't seen anything like it, and it's definitely a great concept for the right person. It doesn't cost a whole lot to get started, and the potential is pretty incredible. A lot of people think that when somebody goes to court and they win a judgment, that you just get paid. What I'm learning is that about 80% of people that have a judgment don't actually get paid, and they need the help of somebody. So you can swoop in and be the good guy and help people out. Evan, can you just briefly introduce yourself and explain why you decided to work with the Judgment Business?
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Evan Ross. I'm the VP of National Partnerships for Judgment Business Incubator. The reason why I joined Judgment Business is actually what you're doing is very noble. You're basically helping people that were messed up twice. They were messed up the first time because they had a business arrangement that went sour. They did the right thing. They sued in court. They paid legal fees. They paid attorneys. They won the judgment, and they were told that they were in the right. And then, unfortunately, they were never paid. And then they were messed up again. So we basically solve that problem because what we do is we basically will set your candidate up with a turnkey up and running judgment enforcement company. And you're so much more than a debt collector. You're an asset investigator, and you could basically just go in there and take the person's assets and take the person's stuff. So it's really an amazing business opportunity that we offer here.
Well, the thing is, I think that people think when they hear this, they go, well, I don't want to be like those truck repo guys where people are angry and they're talking to me. But the actuality is this: you're more of a internet detective, and you have tools and companies to where you can just look and see. Once you have a client, you can look and see where there might be existing funds that can be seized and then paid to your clients. And then you guys, the clients get about, 35 to 50% of the collection?
Yes, you get 1/3 to 1/2 of everything you collect, you keep. We take no royalties. Now, again, you're so much more than a debt collector. You're an asset investigator. So you basically go in there and you take the person's stuff. Now, you're not the one driving around in a tow truck repossessing people's cars. The sheriff and marshal is doing all the dirty work for you. However, yes, we do provide you with skip tracing tools, so you could basically do so many things like garnish wages, freeze bank accounts, repossess cars, put liens on real estate, go after safety deposit boxes, and so much more.
So, and then basically with a lot of this stuff, it could be, what's the time frame? So say I get a client and I know that you guys will, if people want, you guys will help them get their clients by they can, get leads. They get some leads when they start, and they can get additional leads if they don't want to do it themselves. But and you'll put them into their calendar, and now you're talking with someone who is owed, who needs your help, who wants your help, and you just have that conversation. They sign an agreement that gives you the authority to do work on their behalf.
Yes, so we take no royalties. However, one of the ways that we do generate revenue as a company is that we do give continuation of the marketing. We do have a symbiotic relationship with our business owners. What we'll actually do is we'll actually get signed contracts and basically connect them with our business owners where they say, I have this judgment, I'm hiring you to go collect for me. And then our business owners just conduct their investigations. So with our business opportunity, they don't have to go out there and solicit and try to do sales on their own to try to get customers. However, one thing I do want to say, you have the freedom and autonomy to get your own business. We'll never tell you, no, you can't service a client because you didn't find them using our marketing services.
So if I think of a judgment, I think, are these are judgments that people find out there? You're just going to the courthouse and finding judgments that have been awarded, and then you're basically reaching out to see if they want help collecting on it. And so these judgments could be 10,000. You could find judgments that are over 1 million out there. It doesn't mean that any one person's going to get those, but those are real judgments that exist, right?
Absolutely. They could range from anywhere. Well, actually, what we do is they could range from anywhere in the 4-figure range all the way up into the $1 million. No judgment is exactly the same. There is a lack of predictability with this business, but the scalability is there.
Right. You can just reach more people. So what's the day in the life of the owner?
I would say the day in the life of the owner, I would say about 20% of your day is you're dealing with your clients, basically keeping them updated. The majority of your day is really you're conducting the investigations where you're using our tools to find and seize the assets. And then I would say the other part of your day is really clerical work, administrative, basically updating cases and sending payments to your clients. This business is a 100% remote-based business. What makes us stand out is that you could literally operate this business anywhere, anytime. As long as you have a laptop and internet, you're good to go.
Okay. And then, how much time are people typically putting in per judgment that they work on for a client?
I would say the collection period takes approximately eight weeks on average. However, sometimes collecting a judgment can take much longer, especially when you're forcing a sale on someone's property. That can take longer, placing a lien on someone's house. But I would say the average is about 8 weeks for the collection process.
8 weeks. And your direct hours into that is how much?
I would say it could vary, but I could say anywhere between 1 to 2 hours, of you conducting your investigations in total. You see, you're working on, the way that we operate the business is that you're working on many different judgments at the same time. So you're basically spending 5 minutes on one judgment, 5 minutes on another judgment, 5 minutes on another judgment. A couple of days later, you go back to that case, and you're basically following the breadcrumbs. You're following a blueprint of a step-by-step guide on how to conduct your investigations. So volume is really the key.
Right. And is there any rule of thumb on how thick of a pipeline you think people should have on active clients that they're working with?
Sky's the limit, because again, just because you can't find a client, you can't find because you can't get the judgment now doesn't mean you can't get the judgment later. So it's basically, the key is to not waste your time on judgments that are not collectible. So think of it like you're always looking, you're always checking on these cases every so often. So even though that there's a judgment that you're working on and that ends up being a dead case, doesn't mean in 6 months later, you can't, take a quick peek and see, hey, is there an opportunity there? So basically judgments are compounding on top of each other.
Awesome. Well, what else do you think that people should know about this that we just haven't discussed?
I think that if you're looking for a business opportunity that you could work from home, that really gives you a ton of flexibility. If you're looking for a business that is recession resistant, because as you know, in America, we love to sue everyone for everything. And if you're looking for a business that's, recession proof, also that can be extremely scalable, that has very low overhead and the profit margins are very high, 1/3 to 1/2, this business really can check off a lot of those boxes. So this business can almost be a right fit for anyone. If you're looking to scale, you could do that. Also, if you're looking for a lifestyle business where, you're semi-retired, but you're looking for a side business to do, you could do that as well. You'll never hurt your business because, you had to take a day off because you had an emergency. It's not like, you have to run a brick and mortar or a store, and if you're not opened up in time, you're going to have angry customers. This business isn't like that.
Right. And once somebody signs as a licensee, how long does it typically take to be up and running and be able to talk to customers?
We usually like to tell them about 4 to 6 months. Once they start there, we usually say they start generating revenue approximately 6 months after they start the training.
Okay, perfect. Well, if this is something that you want to know more about, we want to do a territory check and see if you qualify. There's going to be a link right next to this video, and you can go there and fill it out, and then hopefully get you connected with Evan. Thank you, Evan, for showing up.
No, thank you very much.